This is the SMB Tech and Cybersecurity Leadership Newsletter weekly risk briefing for July 3rd, 2026. On July 1st, 2026, CISA added a Microsoft SharePoint Server deserialization vulnerability to its known exploited vulnerabilities catalog with a July 4th remediation due date for federal agencies. 2 days earlier, CISA added a simple help authentication bypass vulnerability, also with a compressed remediation window. The same recent KEV cluster included enterprise communication, engineering, remote administration, and network management products from Cisco, PTC, Lantronix, and Ubiquiti. Separately, Colorado's revised AI law has shifted the compliance conversation toward automated decision-making technology used in consequential decisions, while Anthropic's June 30th announcements pushed more agentic and auditable AI work into everyday business lanes. The common thread this week is not one malware family or one vendor, it is control. Attackers are targeting the systems that coordinate work, provide remote help, route communications, manage devices, and store collaboration data. Regulators are asking whether automated decisions can be explained, corrected, and reviewed. AI vendors are making it easier for software to perform more of the work itself. For SMB leaders, the question is no longer whether a tool is useful. It is whether the tool has authority your business can see, limit, and reverse. 1. Collaboration and remote support tools are now front door risk. CISA's most recent KEV additions are a useful leadership signal because they are not clustered around one obscure product category. SharePoint is a collaboration backbone. Simple help is remote support. Cisco Unified Communications Manager supports voice and collaboration. PTC Windchill and Flex PLM can sit close to product engineering and lifecycle operations. Ubiquiti Unify OS and Lantronix EDS 5000 touch network and device administration. That matters because these platforms often sit above ordinary endpoint risk. They connect people, vendors, admins, files, devices, and workflows. If an attacker gets leverage there, the blast radius is not just one laptop. It can become the route into documents, privileged access, help desk workflows, engineering data, customer records, or operational systems. The exploit window is shrinking. CISA's recent federal due dates are measured in days, not weeks. Even if those due dates formally apply to federal agencies, they are a practical signal for every organization that depends on the same products. Remote support needs more scrutiny than ordinary SaaS. A remote support product is supposed to cross trust boundaries. That makes authentication bypass and session control weaknesses especially sensitive. Collaboration systems are evidence systems. SharePoint, communications tools, and product systems hold records your team may need during an incident, audit, dispute, or insurance claim. Strategic action. Treat collaboration, remote support, communications, and network management platforms as control plane systems. They deserve shorter patch timelines, tighter admin review, and separate incident playbooks. This week's leadership move. Ask your IT owner or managed provider for a list of products that can administer devices, provide remote support, manage network gear, store regulated data, or coordinate internal files. Check whether any product in that list appears in CISA KEV or vendor emergency advisories. Create a 72-hour rule for exploited vulnerabilities in those systems, even if your normal patch cycle is monthly. 2. AI compliance is moving from model labels to decision rights. Colorado's revised AI law is useful for SMB leaders because it moves the discussion away from abstract AI hype and toward a practical question. When automated decision-making technology materially influences a consequential decision, what does the business owe the person affected? The revised law uses an automated decision framework rather than simply asking whether a tool is branded as AI. Norton Rose Fulbright's analysis notes that the revised Colorado framework focuses on covered automated decision-making technology used in consequential decisions, including areas such as employment, housing, financial services, insurance, healthcare, education, and government services. It also emphasizes notice, explanation, correction, and meaningful human review after adverse outcomes. That structure should catch the attention of SMBs even outside Colorado. Many smaller firms use applicant screening tools, lead scoring systems, customer risk flags, insurance workflows, credit tools, clinical intake products, scheduling engines, or automated customer support triage without calling them AI governance issues. The label matters less than the decision impact. Inventory beats policy theater. A generic AI policy does not help if nobody knows where automated recommendations influence customers, employees, tenants, patients, borrowers, or applicants. Human review has to be operational. It is not enough to say a person is in the loop if the reviewer cannot see the inputs, correct bad data, override the decision, or explain the outcome. Vendor documentation is now part of your evidence trail. If a third-party system influences a consequential decision, your contract, configuration, logs, and escalation path matter. Strategic action. Build an automated decision register before you buy another AI or analytics tool. List where software scores, ranks, recommends, blocks, approves, escalates, or materially influences decisions about people. This week's leadership move: pick one department, such as HR, sales, finance, health operations, or customer success. Identify every workflow where software recommends or influences a decision about a person. For each workflow, document the owner, vendor, data source, appeal path, human reviewer, and override authority. 3. Agentic AI is becoming an operating model, not a side experiment. Anthropic's June 30th release notes point in the same direction as the broader AI market. More agentic everyday work, more specialized AI applications, and more emphasis on auditable artifacts. Anthropic described Sonnet 5 as its most agentic sonnet model for coding and everyday professional work, and described Claude Science as a customizable app that integrates common research tools, produces auditable artifacts, and provides flexible compute access. For SMBs, the specific vendor matters less than the operating pattern. AI tools are moving from write a draft toward use tools, work across systems, produce artifacts, and act inside business workflows. That can be valuable. It can also create silent risk when the AI can touch customer data, privileged systems, regulated decisions, code, finance workflows, or external communications. Auditable artifacts are becoming a buying criterion. If an AI system performs meaningful work, your team needs evidence of inputs, outputs, tools used, approvals, and final changes. Agentic work needs budget and authority limits. A model that can browse, code, schedule, file, summarize, or update records can create operational cost and operational exposure. Specialized AI apps can bypass central review. A research, coding, sales, or support tool may enter through one team while creating enterprise-wide data and security questions. Strategic action: do not approve agentic AI by demo quality alone. Approve it by workflow authority, data boundary, logging, rollback, and business owner. This week's leadership move: select one current or proposed AI workflow and classify it as advisory only, draft and review, or permissioned execution. Write the stop condition. When must the workflow pause and Ask a human. Confirm where logs, prompts, tool actions, files, and final outputs are retained. Final thoughts for leaders. This week is about the systems that sit above the work: SharePoint, remote support, communication systems, network management, automated decisions, and agentic AI all carry a common risk. They can coordinate action faster than leadership can inspect it. That is the control plane problem. You do not need a giant security program to respond. You need a shorter list of critical systems, faster action on actively exploited vulnerabilities, an automated decision register, and clear rules for where AI can advise, draft, or act. Put those 4 items on the leadership agenda before the holiday weekends. For the full premium implementation pack, review the Substack draft and member section before publishing.